Hello, I'm Kate Stichin and you are watching InstaForex news channel. The next week promises to be more bustling than this one. Not price moves and a degree of volatility, but the economic calendar. Now let's watch the traders' video calendar from InstaForex and try to figure out what reports should be taken into account. Since early Monday, traders speculating the euro-dollar pair will take notice of the business climate survey from Germany from the IFO research group. This leading indicator signals further trends in Germany's economy, which is fairly seen as the powerhouse of the whole Eurozone's economy. The indicator showed a negative trend in October with a drop below the forecast. Last time, analysts had projected a decline to 103 point below. The pessimistic sentiment is going on. The median forecast suggests a further slide to 102.3 in November. Today, reports revealed a contraction in Germany's economic growth in the third quarter and a considerable slowdown in Germany's business activity. In light of the downbeat data, the market is highly sensitive to any negative information from Eurozone. Thus, if a decline in the IFO index is confirmed, the euro will retreat to local lows. At the same time, demand for the US dollar is waning. The Federal Reserve is gradually softening its rhetoric, citing weaker fundamentals. On Tuesday, November 27th, Conference Board is due to release a report on US consumer confidence. Analysts expect a lower reading of the Consumer Confidence Index. However, this decline has to be understood as a correction after it had hit a 18-year high last month. That's why the market is likely to neglect this data. On Wednesday, traders are anticipating the second estimate of the US GDP growth for the third quarter. The first estimate came beyond expectations as GDP expanded by 3.5%, above the median forecast for a 3.3% increase. Now, analysts have upgraded their forecast with a GDP growth of 3.6% in the third quarter. In case the second estimate proves true, the US dollar will regain favor with investors, thus asserting its strength. Apart from the above-mentioned data, the economic calendar includes other important reports in the first 2 days of the trading week. The UK and the New Zealand will present economic data. Nowadays, the pound sterling depends mainly on news on the Brexit development. Thus, the market could disregard reports from the United Kingdom, so it makes sense to check data from New Zealand. A retail sales report is due on Monday, a trade balance report and a financial stability report from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand will be released on Tuesday. On Wednesday, besides GDP data, the United States will post a trade balance report and new home sales. Forex trader calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichin. We wish you profitable deals with InstaForex.